like, for example, having a 9 to 5 or a permanent job.
Mm-hmm.
You may hate that job and you want to go into something different, or you want to be an entrepreneur, but you don't fight as hard because you know you have that backup job to depend on, versus a person who doesn't have a permanent job or even have a 9 to 5.
What is Monique doing to change the Toronto mentality instead of running off to the States? Because I be seeing you on IG all over the place. So why, instead of running, why aren't you here trying to change the culture and the mentality? What's going on?
That's a good question. To be honest,
You know what you do to me. Alright, not a game, girl. Please do not play with me. Don't play with me. Yeah. Hey, you got what I like. It's so tight, it's so new to me. If you by my side, don't you lie. Keep it true with me. You know what I like, yeah. I think you my type, yeah. Enough with the talking, come with me. I do you right, yeah. You got that, What I'm thinking, I just might, yeah. You got that, What I'm thinking, I just might, yeah. You know what you do to me. Don't make a fool of me. Show me that you different, girl. Just keep it true with me. You know what I like.
We back. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Alexander podcast. And on today's episode, I got Monique in the building. I'm not going to lie. It was really hard to get her here because she's a busy woman and she doesn't really pop out to do these type of things. But Monique, I'm happy you made time for me. And yeah, what's good? What's up?
nothing. What you got going on? Hi, everybody.
Do you think a lot of people are going to be shocked that you're actually on here doing something like this?
Yep, I'm shocked at myself, to be honest. So,
Why are you shocked? Why?
because everyone who knows me, like, including you, this is not what I normally do. I'm a very private person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be out. I don't like to, like, be like, woo, it's me. So, this is, even for myself, this is a big step out of my comfort zone, but it's a good thing.
So what made you get out of your comfort zone to actually get on here to do this podcast episode with me?
Just like, I need to, like, right now I'm just trying to do things that I normally don't do, right?
Right.
I would say, like, I'm on a journey with trying to put myself out there more, especially like trying to be a entrepreneur. You kind of have to put yourself out more, and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to step out of your comfort zone if you want people to even know about you, see what your business is,
Right.
plug into your business, plug into you. So I feel like it's all part of the journey of, like, my growth and my self-development.
So who pushed you to get out of your comfort zone? Was there like a person? Was it family? Who was it?
Myself, honestly, like, I just realized a lot of stuff I'm used to, like, I don't want to say comfortable, but when you're doing something for a long time, like, you get used to being in the same space, and, like, even
Right.
though you want change, like, sometimes, like, for example, having a 9 to 5 or a permanent job.
Mm-hmm.
You may hate that job and you want to go into something different, or you want to be an entrepreneur, but you don't fight as hard because you know you have that backup job to depend on, versus a person who doesn't have a permanent job or even have a 9 to 5.
Right.
So if they're going into, like, trying to find a way to make money or being an entrepreneur, that's going to be their only thing that's going to give them money coming in. So they're going to probably push harder than a person that has, like,
Yeah.
a crutch or has, like, a backup plan, right? So I felt like a lot of things in my life that I wanted to say, like, that I wanted to accomplish or do, I don't put the same amount of energy into everything because I know I have that, like, that crutch or that backup. And it wasn't really until I picked up and I said, yo, I said I'm gonna leave here because I like, me, I'm all
Hold
about
on.
this.
We're not gonna get into that just yet.
Oh,
We're not gonna get into that just yet. You know what I
okay.
mean? But I did want to ask you before you start, going into everything off the jump. I
Okay.
wanted to know, since we're talking about being an entrepreneur and stuff like that, when was the moment Monique decided to become one?
Honestly, so I've been an entrepreneur, I would say like for 5 years. Whether I've been a consistent entrepreneur is another situation, but like I'm just gonna be real. Like 5 years ago, I was like, yo, I can't do this 9 to 5. Like it's not me. It's not what I'm about. Like anyone who wants to do it, I never take that away because at the end of the day, it also helped me to get
To where
even
you
to
are.
start my business, right?
Yeah.
But I just realized for myself, I like the flexibility. I like not really having, I like no one telling me what to do. Like I want to come and go as I please. I want to be my own boss. I want to like create my own hours and I want to do something that I enjoy, right? So that's when I said, yeah, let me figure out what I can do to kind of start that ball rolling and see where it goes from there.
So when you started the ball rolling, what were the different options you had? How can I say this? Did you have different things you wanted to get into?
Yeah. So like,
Name them. What'd you want to do at first?
so I always wanted to get into like investing, whether it's investing in properties. Well, most of the time it is investing in property. That's all I really kind of have a high interest in. But at the time, it's kind of what made the most sense and what was the easiest. So at that time, lashes wasn't as saturated as it is now.
Right.
So I said, okay, it's not that expensive to get into. It's not as busy. Like there's not that many people doing it. Let me get into it. So then I started with eyelashes, realized it's not for me. Don't really like it. And then I went into the body contouring. So now I'm doing that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not fully like I could be pushing myself more in it, but there's been like so many things that I'm getting into. So I'm not putting my full focus, but now I'm back.
Okay.
Putting my focus on that.
So let me ask you a question. How did you get into body contouring?
Honestly, I just like I love bodies. And then I also look at myself and I'm
hold
like,
on. You love bodies. What? Women's bodies or man's bodies?
I like women's bodies.
Okay. I just had to ask.
Yeah, I like to see like how people are shaped. I like to see like how someone's bum looks. I like to see like the thickness. Like when I see a really nice body to me, I like it. I enjoy watching how they're like how they look, especially like if you go to the gym and you see their transformation. I like to see that. I can tell the difference between like a thickness with you working out versus a thickness like from just being thick. And then I also think about like how I am, and I'm always like trying to change in my appearance, like whether it's, oh, I want to be gym thick or I want to like gain in this area or gain in that. And then I realized we're just in a time where at the end of the day, everyone's like never satisfied with what they want or what they have.
I'm not gonna lie. I be creeping on the IG. I see you out here, you know. You know what I'm saying? Legs are looking, real strong out there, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, continue. I just had to say that.
Yeah, see, I be trying. I be going to the gym, getting the weights up, drinking my mass gain shakes. Like, it's like a process.
Monique the Stallion.
I don't know about that, but
okay. So since you got into body contouring, what's the training process like, and how long does it take for a person to get a certificate in that field or that position?
Like when you say training process, like what do you mean?
Like, no, like how did you, like, who taught you about body contouring? Because I'm pretty sure you just didn't just wake up and say, I know how to do this. Like how?
No. So, my cousin did. Am I allowed to like give names or not names?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Oh, well, my cousin did Chanel, and she got me interested in it. It's like a 2-day. Well, to start with body contouring, I would honestly say it's a 2-day like training period. However, if you want to take it like over the basics learning, then there's other courses that you can take along the way. So it honestly depends on how you want to develop as a person in the industry. Like I started with her, but then when I wanted to learn something else, like I would go out to someone else to learn that skill, and it just continues from there, right?
So name like the perfect, like not the perfect, but how should I say this? Name the skills you learned from your cousin Chanel and other people that you went to. Like what were the skills?
So from her, it was my first time even getting into body contouring. So I basically learned like what it is, the machines, how to work with like the different body types, how to reduce cellulite, how to do skin tightening, how to reduce like flabby skin, tone your skin, um, fat reduction, what else? Like marketing.
So it seems like it's a in-depth process.
Yes, it is.
Crazy. So like, do people need to go to school for that type of stuff, or like, how does that work?
You don't necessarily need a background like when you're starting body contouring. You just need to make sure you go to somebody who is credited to teach, because
Okay.
not like anyone can basically learn and then say I'm going to be a trainer, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have the credentials to teach, right? And the people that you're going to go to train you, you want to make sure that they have invested their energy and their time, and they also know other things, because you don't want to kind of just be stuck and then you're like, what do I do now? And you can tell, like it's like with anything, there's people who invest their time to learning how a business is, and then there's people who just look at it as a quick buck, and then they're like, I'm going to get into this and tell people about it. And you'll see based on how successful they are as well too, right?
So how does Monique? So do you have a specific spot where you can do all of this stuff, or what?
Right now I do it at my basement. Well,
Okay.
in my basement. So
True.
I have a whole room. I decorated it and designed it, and that's where I am right now until I decide if I want to do a location or not.
And how does Monique go about getting new clients? How do you put the word out there?
Through Instagram, and a lot of it's like referrals, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the reasons people seek treatment? And what are the different types of treatment people can receive from you?
So a lot of people get it because they have, as I said, like women. I'm sure there's men too, because I've actually had inquiries from men. But a
That was
lot
going to
of
be my
people,
next question, but yeah, continue.
a lot of people always have like parts of their body that they're not happy with, or they're not satisfied with. You can go to the gym, you can be fit everywhere, but there's just that little extra fat that like you need to get rid of.
Right.
That exercising and eating right isn't helping. Some people don't even care to do the gym, so it's like a way to help contour your body, let you lose weight, let you shrink in fat, let you lose inches, let you tighten your skin without having to go through the actual surgery part. So pretty much it's non-invasive. So if you're not someone who wants to go through surgery, this could be a method for you. However, with that being said, people who do decide to go through surgery, body contouring and like the vacuum therapy, the wood therapy, cavitation, all of that is kind of your maintenance that you need to maintain the work that you got done, right?
So what's the maintenance like? Like, let's just say a girl came to see you tomorrow, like on a Saturday. When does she need to come back for a follow-up, or is she just good after that one appointment?
No, so it depends. Like I have a client who's done work, so her maintenance wouldn't be as she wouldn't be seeing me as frequently as somebody who hasn't done anything, right? So somebody who's done work, you would come, and depending how far you are, like how far your post-op is, you would come to me maybe once or twice a week to do like your maintenance, your massages, your stomach, to make sure everything is good, to like cut
Right.
down the fat and get rid of whatever like fibrosis and all that in your stomach. If you've never done surgery though, and like you're starting a treatment, we always recommend coming like 3 times a week if you can, because you have to train your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're starting sessions like this and treatments like this, you have to train your body to getting used to shrinking the fat, removing the fat, and being consistent with it. But a lot of people think that you can come one time, once a month, once every week, and then expect like miracles in one day.
I'm gonna ask a next question.
Yeah.
No, actually, I got 2 questions. What's the prices looking like? Because what you're talking about, it seems expensive. So I need to know, what's the Monique prices?
It's not, well, at the end of the day, you have to look at it like it's an investment in your body, an investment in you, right? If you want to make yourself feel and look good without having to go through like under a knife, it's not necessarily going to be the cheapest. So I would say prices range from a minimum of 80 to 80, like being a single session, to packages that can range to like 1,000, 1,200.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so it depends on how you're doing it, right? Like it's better to do a package deal because it's also going to benefit you as a client for you to see your results, right?
Yeah. And I guess it would be also cheaper if someone does a package, right? Instead of just doing one
Exactly.
session. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And my second question is, what are your thoughts on the women out here, especially in 2021 and beyond, that be doing the BBLs and all that type of stuff? What is your opinion on that? Let me know.
Honestly, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Like, as long as you're doing it because it's something that you want, I see nothing wrong with it. But I feel like we are in a time where social media plays a big part into like
The
what
in
is
thing?
like the perfect body or the
Right.
perfect girl or the perfect world. And I do feel that, not to like get at you, but I feel that men also kind of
Oh,
play
man.
into that. So you do have a lot of females, like there's young girls who are 19 and 18 getting BBLs. I personally don't think at such a young age you should get it, because your body's still developing and still changing, right? And something that you may want at the age of like 19 may not be how you want or see yourself at the age of like 25 or
Very
30.
true. Yeah, I have that similar opinion as you, because I see a lot of girls that be getting the BBLs or the fat transfers or doing whatever. I don't even know the names of all the stuff these days, but a lot of them, I'm thinking, you're doing this now just for some Instagram likes and whatnot. But like, how is how do you know what the long-term effects could be 15, 20 years down the road? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's where you have to take, like, you have to do your own research on it, right? And I'll never say I'm against surgery, because I don't feel like at the end of the day, if that's what's going to make you happy, if that's what you want, then I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for us women, like, we can look one way today, we have a kid, bomb, our body's like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And then you hear some men who are saying like, yeah, I want my girl to look a certain way even after she has the kid. So it's like,
Jeez.
okay.
Man ain't playing out here. Man said, yo, I want you before you had the baby. I want you to look how you look before. Damn. So what's
Yeah.
Monique saying if someone says that to you? What are you saying about that?
Well, if first off, we're probably gonna have that conversation before I have the kid.
Oh,
And
okay,
if you're expecting me to look like Bernice even after the kid, then we're probably not gonna go as far as having kids.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna turn the heat up on you a little bit still. I've been going kind of easy on you. Has Monique ever encountered someone that got a bad, I guess, BBL job or whatever, and then they come to see you for your services? Has that ever happened to you? Don't be PC either. Don't give me the PC answer.
Well,
Oh man, I know. We're on the Matt Alexander podcast, man.
No. I can't say it's like
Monique, don't be PC, man. You
it's
want me to
not
ease up on you? You want me to ease up on you?
No, I can't say it's bad, but at the end of the day, like sometimes it's not them, it's what the doctor did, right? Like that's why you have to do research into finding a good surgeon.
No, but I'm saying, has a girl that got a bad BBL job come to see you to, for body contouring to kind of fix the problem? Has that ever happened?
No.
Are you sure? Or are you just saying that just to say that so I can get to the next question?
I personally haven't worked on somebody that.
Okay. I don't wanna hold your feet to the fire. I'll move on. So I know becoming an entrepreneur, usually you don't have time to spend with a lot of people. So talk about some of the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur.
I think being self-disciplined is one of the hardest things. It's very easy to like be like, yeah, I'm all in, like I'm excited, then you go, and like all of a sudden something doesn't work the way you thought it was gonna work, or you may not sell the way you thought you were gonna sell in whatever your product is, and then it's easy to kind of just say like, I'm gonna give up, like I'm not into this. Or if you see, it's easy to make comparisons, and I think that's one of the biggest things that entrepreneurs should not do. But it's easier said than done, especially when you're starting and you're not where you want to be at. It's easy to look at somebody that's doing something similar to what you're doing and looking at their success stories, or seeing how like maybe you started way before they did and they're thriving more than you are.
Right.
It's easy to compare yourself to that and then get yourself discouraged by seeing that. So I feel like a lot of it, it's you have to have tunnel vision and like be disciplined and be intentional. And at the end of the day, kind of just block out other people and look at it as you see what they're doing, but this is your path and this is what you want to do for yourself. And as long as you just put in the work, even if it takes you a little bit longer than them, doesn't mean you're not going to get there.
So how has Monique changed from when you first started to this present moment right now?
As in like myself in general?
No, like being an entrepreneur. Like
I feel like now I'm more disciplined. Like when I first went into it, I knew what I wanted to do, but then I didn't. So I was kind of just going through the motions and just doing whatever. Again, I said because I also have like a job, so that kind of was my crutch.
Security. Yeah.
But now that I'm realizing like where I see my business and where I want to take it, that can't happen anymore. So now it's more like tunnel vision, being intentional, being disciplined,
right,
and just moving.
Okay, I like that answer. Are you ready now? I'm gonna switch it up and turn it up on you a little bit, man. Are you ready?
Okay, go.
You sure? You look a little nervous. You sure you don't want to sip that wine first?
I was going to, but
yeah,
go.
Sip that, man. Sip that, man. Because, I'm going to get a little mix up right now. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What is Monique's problem with Toronto? Because I'm not gonna lie, when we have our little chats here and there, you be coming at Toronto a little harsh, But I'm gonna let you talk about it. What's your problem with Toronto? Let me know.
You've been wanting to ask this.
Oh man.
I wouldn't say I have a problem with Toronto. Like, don't listen to him. Next thing you know, everyone's sending me like hate mail saying,
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get your Instagram at the end of this conversation, but continue. What is Monique's problem with Toronto?
Okay, so let's start off. I do not hate Toronto, but I just feel that I feel like we don't have our own thing. Like, it's kind of like, I feel like we try to do our own thing, but then everybody kind of creates this I'm better than you persona. I'm more important than you persona. I hang out with certain people, so like you can't talk to me. So even for example, like with the entrepreneur world, you'll see like people will offer like pop-ups, right?
Right.
You can get your business exposed and do things. But even within the pop-ups, there's clicks. So it's like, even though you guys are saying you empower other people and you want to help other people, it's still kind of like cliquish. And then when we look at, not to make comparisons, but if you do look at the States, like people are more open to helping other people. Like if they see you have a business going on, instead of withholding that information to say like, I don't want to give it to her because, or give it to him because I don't want them to surpass me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I did this and this didn't work for me, so I'm going to share it with you. Or here's what worked for me, so let me give you these gems. But I feel like, and I find here, we're all like in competition with each other to the point it's like, we pull each other down instead of uplifting. And I feel that Toronto can be such a beautiful place with helping each other if we just learn to help one another.
So you're saying Toronto is a crab in a bucket mentality?
Definitely. I think it's very hard to make it here. Like it's almost like we don't take anyone serious until certain people recognize them
and validate you, and then other people will be like,
yeah.
Listen,
why? What do you think about what I'm saying?
No, I completely agree with you because actually, you know what? Since I'm holding your feet to the fire, I'm gonna do the same. Even with me starting this podcast, you know what I mean? There's some people that I asked to come on because they were doing interesting things, and I also wanted them to come talk about it because a lot of people that I know are in certain niche markets. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because the podcast isn't like Joe Budden podcast or whatever, I feel like people kind of give me the runaround. Not all people, but some people, they feel like they're too good to do it. And I've come to the conclusion, like you said, Toronto is a very weird space that everyone thinks they're better than everybody. And they don't like to necessarily give the small person a chance unless they are validated by someone bigger or with clout. You know what I mean? But, you know, I still like the city and all, but I just take it for what it is, you know? Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of people that want to come on the podcast. As soon as I ask them, they're like, yo, I'm flattered to come on, like yourself, you know what I mean? And other people I've recorded with previously. But there's certain people that, you know, they're acting Hollywood when they shouldn't. But that's another story for another day, you know what I mean? But man, that's my opinion on it. But this ain't about me. This is about you. So what is Monique doing to change the Toronto mentality instead of running off to the States? Because I be seeing you on IG all over the place. So why, instead of running, why aren't you here trying to change the culture and the mentality? What's going on?
That's a good question. To be honest, I don't know. Like, I feel because a lot of my family isn't here, right? They're all in the States. So a big part of me is there. So it's not to say I don't look at here as my home, but I don't look at it as my end goal. Like I always look at the going back and forth between the two.
Right.
So probably because I look at Canada that way, I don't really see, okay, what can I do to change it? Like, what can I do to get us to be all together and to ban? So that's the honest question, the honest answer.
So deep down, low key, you really want to be an American citizen. Is that what you're saying right now?
I want to be dual. I still want to keep my Canadian. Don't get it twisted.
Why? Since you're always at the drop of a hat, you're gone to the States. Why do you want dual citizenship still?
Because at the end of the day, I'm still born here. This is my country.
But you don't live it.
Even though, no, that's not true.
People, actually, continue.
Our quality of life is 100% better here than America. Like,
yo, mind what you say. The States may actually never mind.
But it's true. The quality of life here is better. Like, again, we're ran as a country, so our government cares about the citizens. They care about what's going on here. We may not like what they do when it comes.
You hear that,
to,
Americans? You hear what she's saying about you guys? Continue though.
When it comes to like even this whole vaccination stuff, but at the end of the day, they do care about the people. They care about our well-being, which is why we have a lot of resources to help us have a good quality of life.
Yeah, you're right.
Is ran more like a business, which is why I feel entrepreneurship does so well there, because everyone is.
I never thought of it like that.
Everyone is there. Like a lot of your jobs are not paying you well, so it kind of forces you to go out there and find another hustle, to find something else to do on the side to bring in more income. And also, their population is bigger than us, so I feel like when it comes to like being an entrepreneur, America is better in that sense, because you have more people who understand the whole trying to make it out here, trying to get money. Let's help each other. Let me give you gems. Here we have more of a let's be structured. Let's have a family. Let's like enjoy your career, get
and
to
just live comfortable.
Exactly.
So have you put any of your friends on your mentality, or you don't really like to do them type of stuff? You just like to just say, yo, I'm doing this, and if no one wants to follow me and take notes, it is what it is?
No, like I feel like all of my friends are all very vocal. So at the end of the day, like I'll never say anyone is wrong if they don't feel how I feel, because it's entirely up to what you want to do, what you're okay with. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and I think that's fine. Like I don't feel that entrepreneurship is for everybody, and even a person that gets into it may realize down the line, this wasn't for me, right? Because a lot of things sound easier said than done. It takes a lot of work just to get yourself to even like getting a 1-2 clients sometimes, right? So yeah, I don't look at any of my friends I don't expect them to have my mentality or my mindset. And I think that's the great thing with the group of friends that I have. We all do different things. There's half of them who are doing entrepreneurship, and then there's the other half who's okay with like having a career and stuff. So
you guys are all unique in your own ways, what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. I'm not done yet. I'm still putting your feet to the fire. Why don't I ever see Monique with a Toronto guy? Because I'm not gonna lie. I heard you got a thing for Americans. Let's talk about it, man. You ain't running from these questions today. So answer that question.
That's not true. First off, do you ever see me outside, period? Like I don't.
Yeah, cause I never see you outside because you're across the border. Okay, you know what? I don't want to say nothing, but why don't you have a thing for Toronto guys, man? Come on, man. You gotta give Toronto guys a chance, man.
No, I don't agree with that. Like, because I date people here. So like I would never say I don't have a thing for Toronto people, because I've dated people here.
Yeah, past tense.
I'm dating somebody here.
Oh, okay. So you're saying, are you saying right now on this podcast that you're snatched up by a Toronto man?
Yes.
Okay. So that leads into my next question. How does a Toronto man get Monique's attention?
That's a good question.
I just make these questions up as we go along.
I don't know. You just have to be you. Like, I don't want the whole pretending, the whole, like, just be yourself. I like people who are just themselves, and I can be myself. I don't want someone trying to change me, trying to make me be something I'm not. Like,
well, I'm not gonna lie, Monique. You chill with the cool people, and you always got the newest drip, man. Some guys might be a little nervous trying to approach you, so don't. What do they got to do?
Nothing, just be normal. Like, just talk to me like a regular person.
Monique, you're not out here just giving everybody a chance. You know you have a certain type. You know what I mean? What's
Well,
Monique's type, man? What's your type? Because you're not just letting anyone just walk up on you and get the number. Let's not do that.
well, first off, you already said I look a certain way, so not everyone's gonna come and walk up. To be honest, I don't even think people even walk up in this day and age. Like, I don't even think people walk up in this day and age.
So you're saying the best way to, well, even though you're taken, but when you're single in your single days, the best way is what? Sending you a DM? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, because I don't really like entertain.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
I
So
get someone in my
how does someone get
my
your
DM.
attention?
But I think because I haven't, like, it's hard for me to answer this question because I'm not, like, I haven't been single for a bit. So, but when I think about all the times I've met somebody, it's been in person. It's like them seeing me or me seeing you. To be honest, the last person, I actually approached them, which was a big thing.
Whoa, hold on. You actually approached somebody?
Yeah.
Listen, I got a lot. Yo, let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. I find this is a major problem in Toronto that females never approach guys, but when you go across the border to America, American women just come up to you and talk to you.
And talk to you,
They're like
yeah.
more aggressive than Toronto girls.
Yeah, but I did this with the person that's here.
But what made you do that? Or did you have to send one of your girls? Yo,
No, I think it was just a
you just
situation.
pulled up on him?
Huh?
You just pulled up on him?
Yeah, like it was just a situation where I just looked at it and said, like, yo, what do I have to lose? Like, at the end of the day, you either gonna talk to me or you're not gonna talk to me.
Jeez.
So
So were you by yourself, or was this at a party? Was your
it was
friend?
at an event.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at an event.
But what do you got to say for people that say meeting someone at parties is not really a good idea?
I don't necessarily agree because not every single person that goes to a party is living in parties all the time. Like, you can go out and you have people who are there like once in a while. Like, I don't think for you, for example, I don't feel like you're a person that goes out all the time. Like, I could be wrong, but
I don't
feel like you're that. So if you're to go out and then you happen to see somebody, I think it's wrong to say, oh, I can't talk to them because I met them in a party. When if you look at how you are, you don't live in parties.
True. I agree with that. What are your thoughts on cheating from the female's perspective? Is that like a complete no? Are you done with the guy if that ever happens to you? Or are you willing to work it out?
So I feel like when I was younger, it was like, no, like for sure, no, I'm not doing this. I feel like as I gotten older, I'm not saying I condone cheating, but I feel like sometimes you can look at it a little bit different. Like, and it depends on what happens. Like, if you're to cheat and then a whole kid comes along, like, there's just nothing to figure out. There's nothing to work out, nothing to figure out, whatever. And I think too, it also depends if like you're married or not married. If we're like less than a year in and you're doing certain things, I'm probably not gonna be like, yo, I'm done, because it probably like, and it would depend exactly what happened, like what the situation is. I feel like, I don't know, people may not agree with this, but I just feel at the end of the day, like it's not right on either parties, but if the person is worth fighting for, you kind of have to look at the situation together and see what even led to that happening. Because sometimes there's a disconnect in your relationship where the male or the female could be talking to you about it all the time and you're just not paying attention, not taking it in. And then they end up going that direction. And it's not until cheating happens where you realize, okay, maybe I need to put my foot in more. Like, with whatever it is that she's complaining about or wants me to change, or maybe I need to do more with whatever it is that he's telling me to change. Because I feel like sometimes in a relationship we get comfortable,
100.
especially in a long-term relationship. Like, you start to feel like, oh yeah, this person loves me, so I don't have to put in as much effort
100%.
anymore.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I have a couple of friends that are dating girls, and they're in that space now. That like now that they've been dating for a couple of years, the girl is not as exciting as she was prior to getting into the relationship. So I
Right.
think like she's or they're comfortable, you know what I mean? And then it kind of puts the guy in a complicated situation because he's thinking like, yo, I wanted her to be my girlfriend or my wife because she was so exciting before we were anything, but now we're an item, and now she feels now that she has me, she's just chilling, and she may let herself go, and you know what I mean? What are your thoughts on stuff like that?
I feel it happens to all of us, like even myself. And I feel that's when you kind of have to bring back like the dating, bring back when you guys first met, because it's easy, especially with COVID, it's easy to like become complacent in your relationship where you just become so used to each other where you don't put the efforts in anymore. And it's not until you see them having wandering eyes, or you see them going elsewhere, or you see them stepping outside of the relationship, that you realize, oh, wait a minute, I don't have this person the way I thought I did.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
even for you yourself, like, you can be committed into something and then you're realizing like, maybe there's something else, right? And then you start stepping out. So I feel like when that starts to happen, it's kind of like you need to go back and communicate with your partner and figure out, okay, what is the disconnect between the two of us? Because I feel when you start having wandering eyes, when you start thinking about cheating, or when you even start to go into that cheating aspect, or even start to think like, she's not doing it for me anymore, or he's not doing it for me anymore, there's a disconnect between the two of you somewhere.
So what I don't want to dig too deep into your situation, but have you ever been to that point where you're like, I have a wandering eye, or your partner has had a wandering eye and you've noticed, or that hasn't happened? Because, or do you just keep it spicy 365 where no one has a wandering eye?
No, I've been in both, like both sides.
See, Monique, what's going on? Explain, man. Explain.
Like, I see it, but I think too, at the end of the day, you have to know the person that you're with. Like,
Right.
for example, if you pick up somebody and you see like they're a flirt, like you hear some situations where the girl gives the man so much like rules and regulations as to everything that they cannot do. But
Yeah.
if you take away, if that's naturally part of them, because a person could be extra friendly and have a little flirtatiousness, but that doesn't mean that they take it too far, or that doesn't mean that they're going to cheat. And that's part of their personality. So then if you try to like change that about a person, I feel like it kind of gets hard, because then it's like, okay, you met me being like this and I'm not going to take it far, but now you don't want me to do anything, period. So like, what is okay?
I'm not gonna lie, you're saying some stuff that I said in a previous podcast. Still, it's like a lot of people try to put too many rules and regulations on their significant other, which causes them to kind of lash out, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem. Like, I feel people will meet you a certain way, and like once they have you, they just want to change everything about you.
Yeah.
And that's when your relationship doesn't become fun anymore, because it's like, okay, you met me being an outgoing person. You met me being a person that like is always doing this, always doing that. And now it's like you want me to be mute, or you want me to be in the house all the time. Like, you start to lose yourself, and then it's like, am I living for myself, or am I living for this relationship? Am I making myself happy or you happy? Like,
And I have something to add to that too. Even like myself, when I'm speaking to a new woman. You know what I mean? I like to. How can I say this? Um, I hold a lot of weight on the conversation. I gotta see like where a woman's head's at and stuff like that. Like I'm not too quick to meet up with the woman and stuff like that. I need to know, like, can I have a conversation with her? How is she? How is she with other people? Or
Right.
is she just putting up a front just to come off as the perfect woman, you know? So you kind of have to play like the long game in a sense to kind of see like is she just putting up a front or is she trying to finesse me or something like that. So I really want to know where a woman's head's at for me to say, okay, let me take this woman serious and let's take things further. But I
Right.
find nowadays a lot of men, they're just like, oh, okay, she looks good. Yo, okay, I'm with it. It doesn't matter if she's crazy, psycho, whatever. Nah. I always say, I always think you gotta eat like men and female, you gotta pass the talking stage first before you actually meet up and say, okay, can I take this person serious? Because you know, at the jump, everyone's gonna put their best behavior on, you know, to come off as that perfect individual. You know, do you agree with that?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But let me. What else? I got one last thing before I let you go, because I know you're a busy woman. You know what I mean? I know you probably got stuff to do. You may have to call your boo after this, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What is what advice can Monique give to somebody who wants to maybe follow in your footsteps or wants to become an entrepreneur?
Honestly, just do it. Like,
Okay, now.
I feel like with myself, I'm very rogue at times, and I'm not telling people to be like me because it can be very expensive. But I'm a person like I just go with how I feel. It may not make sense to a lot of people, but to me, it makes sense. And if I feel like this is just not making me happy, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I believe in putting my happiness first. And I feel like it took me time to get to that point, because a lot of the times like we care about what other people feel, how they think, like how it's going to affect them, but at some point in your life you have to be selfish and just focus on yourself and like focus on what makes you happy, because if you're not good, you can't be good in other areas of your life, right?
Right.
So for me, it's just do what makes me happy. If that means I gotta leave this country for 2 months, I'm
Yes,
gone
we
for
know
two
that. We know
months.
that. We know that. You love you love leaving the country. We know that. But to piggyback off what you just said, even with myself, you know, a lot of people don't know this. See, I'm just giving Monique the exclusives right now. There's a lot of people that ask me, "Yo, Matt, why haven't you dropped episodes?" I get in my head a lot of the times too, you know, because I'm always thinking like, "Damn, will this person like this?"
I
Or
think
does
this is a
the voice
Scorpio
sound
thing,
good?
bro.
Or you know what I'm saying? I'm always in my head,
Yeah.
crazy, and it always makes me like second guess myself. But I'm not gonna lie, like I have to try to get out of that mind state, because if not, I'm just always gonna stay stagnant, and I'm never, or I don't want to wake up 5-10 years from now always wondering what if,
Yes.
you know, and then I'll have like regret, and then who knows, I may get like, I don't know, I may just, yeah, I don't know.
And
But
that's the biggest thing. I feel like because I've had some clients that are like in their late 30s, 40s, and they're saying like they haven't even left the country. They haven't even traveled places. They haven't done a lot of stuff. And it's not to say they can't, but they just haven't done it. And like when you even hear people at that age and you're like, yo, I lived more of a life than you, it makes you like look at things differently. And it's just like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that's like, I had all these ideas, I had all these visions, and I never once tried it. And that's why I feel like me being rogue makes me just do what I want to do, because I just always think about I don't want to be someone that says I wish I did this or I wish I did that. I rather say I did it, it failed, it cost
yeah,
me a lot of money,
yeah,
but I tried. Like, you
true,
know?
true, yeah, and I feel like I got to get out of that mind state a bit too, man, because I'm not gonna lie, be knowing I'm having fire fire episodes and conversations with people on this podcast. But I do gotta stop getting, in my head saying, I don't know if it's up to par. Will people like it? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm gonna take your advice, be rogue and be selfish and just release. And I might name this podcast those titles too. Shout out to you for, giving me a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Woo, woo.
But my last question before I let you get out of here is what are your thoughts and opinions from doing this episode with me today?
Oh, it's good. I'm happy. I'm happy you even asked me to do it. I think this is a good thing to step out of my comfort zone so I can check this off a box. I feel like I like what you're doing. I feel like you should continue and make sure you put out your podcast. Don't be in your head, man, because how is anyone going to know about you if you keep them all to yourself?
Exactly. I'm going to take that advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah. One last thing before we get out of here. What are your socials? What's your Instagram, Twitter? Do you have a website? Let us know. What is it?
Okay, so my personal page is Moberry Toots, which is MOBERRYTUTTS. And then my business page is BBeauties_lounge, which is BBEAUTYS_lounge. And my Snap is Moberry Toots. I don't got nothing else right now. So you'll see the rest when you see the rest.
All right. Thank you again, Monique, for taking the time out of your busy evening to come and do this podcast with me. I really, really appreciate it. We've been homies from time. I asked you to...
I watched you grow.
I know. And before we got on here, you were saying you remember we with no beard and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's been time. We've been homies from time. And like I said, I appreciate, our little talks that we have and stuff like that. Because you be putting me up on game sometimes too. I never tell you that, but I'm telling you now. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that you came on the podcast. You didn't say no. You didn't give me the runaround like other people. You just did it. You came out of your comfort zone. And I actually appreciate that I got you out of your comfort zone to actually do something like this. So maybe this pushes you to get on someone else's podcast in the future and promote what you're doing. And yeah, man, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And one last thing. Will you come on another episode? Because I definitely want to talk to you about some other stuff too. So.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I feel like I got my feet wet. I'm ready. You need a co-host?
we may have to try a thing still, We may have to try a thing, but I don't want your significant other to get upset or anything like that, just, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Anyone in my life is supportive, okay?
Okay.
Friends, non-friends, supportive people only.
Okay. I like that. And yeah, thanks again. And we'll definitely do this again, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Done now. Peace out.
You know what you do to me. Alright, not a game, girl. Please do not play with me. Don't play with me. Yeah. Hey, you got what I like. It's so tight, it's so new to me. If you by my side, don't you lie. Keep it true with me. You know what I like, yeah. I think you my type, yeah. Enough with the talking, come with me. I do you right, yeah. You got that, What I'm thinking, I just might, yeah. You got that, What I'm thinking, I just might, yeah. You know what you do to me. Don't make a fool of me. Show me that you different, girl. Just keep it true with me. You know